Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the Think Show where we talk to your mind. We don't want to talk to you because you may be masquerading as what somebody told you you were. You're not masquerading as yourself. You're trying to be somebody else. So at African Americans Ain't Africans, we want to talk to your mind. We want to talk to what you think about, what you are, who you are, how'd you get to this place where you are now? Who's your mama? Who's your daddy? Who are they? Where do they come from? And most people that you call African Americans, they're the indigenous people of America. And it's a shame in this late date, we still don't know it. But I'm going to share with you why you don't know it. And this is what I'm saying. Find out who your people are, your family, who you're closest to, where you come from. Most people in your family know you more than you know yourself. They was there when you came. They know all about you. But for some reason, we don't hang with our family. We go join these other groups, religious groups, social groups. And as we said before, they take the place of your family. That's a major mistake that the African American Negro is making. Grave mistake. And arrogant about it. I can do whatever I want, nigga. I can do whatever. Get with your families. Now is the time. Today, I just want to give a little insight on this cat that just died, Runoko Rashidi. I met Runoko Rashidi back in the 90s. And, you know, in Los Angeles, you can go to a bookstore called Esselwine Books or a little vegetarian restaurant called The Good Life. And brothers like Runoko Rashidi, Steve Coakley, if you remember Steve Coakley, and others. O.J. Simpson even came through once. They would give lectures. You know, I guess it was supposed to be empowering. And some of them were, like Steve Coakley. If you ever checked out Steve Coakley, if you haven't checked out Steve Coakley, check this brother out. A giant. You hear me? This brother was a giant. He came with information, receipts, whatever you want to call it. This brother right here, Runoko Rashidi, he came with the African presence everywhere. We're Africans. The African presence in America, the African presence in Asia. He just painted everybody with an Africa brush. And, you know, I knew him. I mean, we weren't bosom buddies or none of that stuff, but I met him and we just didn't see eye to eye on it because, dude, are these Africans over here and they're not trying to get with you guys on anything? Explain that to me. And, you know, that's what I be asking brothers. You talk all this Africa stuff. Africans know they're a distinct and separate people. How come you don't know? Well, I knew why they didn't know. And so this is what I say. When you learn about people, see when they're born, see around the time they were born, see what they were growing up in, when they were 10, when they were 15. You know, what events happened around where they were that changed their lives. You can say, when the bomb went off in Birmingham in 1963, how did it affect those people in that area? You have to look at those things when you're following somebody or want them to be your guide or whatever, so you can know what they're about, so you can know if they telling you some bullshit. But you also have to be thinking too. So I would go see these brothers in LA, and one of the things I notice, when you ask a person a question and they don't answer it, they go to something else, that means they don't know. That's all it means. That's all it means. Because they are trained, if you look at when all these cats were born and what Black studies were, African studies, this is what they teach in those courses in these schools. And this is how many of these people got messed up. So I know some now. They're in their 70s. You know what they're saying now? How do I find out if I'm Indian? I thought you was African, nigga. This is the kind of shit we do. And this is the reason why I want to talk about this brother today. Because don't waste your whole life. So he died over in Egypt, taking a bunch of Negroes over here, a bunch of Indians from over here, over to Egypt to teach them that they were Egyptians or Africans. Basically what he was doing, taking money over there to the Arabs. You know how Negroes always get took. Instead of, now this dude's from America. Instead of him, brothers like him, brothers who got money, like everybody, the bag, brothers who got all this influence. And well, how come these brothers ain't going by seeing that these cities are being gentrified? How come brothers like this and other brothers, many like them, are not going by all these places in America that we are at, that we're being gentrified in? Why aren't these brothers building those cities up? We don't even ask those questions. We don't even question that. We just do the same dumb shit every day. I want to read a quote from this cat. And this is I am not here to excoriate the brother, nothing. I'm just telling you, with your children's lives, they're much greater than this. Your children's lives, your mother's life, all of them, teaching us that we are something else. I mean, that's a damn shame to me. I mean, I know you might, he tried. Oh, I know. To teach the people of this land that they come from somewhere else, that's fucked up. You might go with it, you might understand it, and I know. Check out this quote. Check this quote out. This is what I'm saying. You gotta be kidding. And this dude called himself a doctor. Well, might have been one. Africa is where it all began. It is where humanity began. It is where human culture began. It is where civilization began. And you are going around saying you are not an African. Precisely what kind of fool are you? This is a doctor. You see the lengths that these cats go through? This cat died teaching that. This cat died teaching that. In Africa. So let's say he passes on. His soul doesn't leave this gravitational pull. He's over in Africa. Does he come back an Egyptian? Is that how it happens? Because a tomato, when you pull a tomato off the vine, another one will be there to replace it. That's how we roll too. I know you don't know Jesus gonna come back and say, I know. Yeah. Your physical body is like a leaf on a tree. Sinks down in the ground, comes back as a leaf later. Yeah. I think we pat ourselves on the back too much. So this cat taught thousands, tens of thousands all over the world, that the people, because he just didn't do this in America, he did it in other places too. I think Asia, I'm sure Mexico, I'm sure. You got people that will stand up and agree with this brother today. I mean, they probably won't do it, after hearing us talk, but goddamn, y'all, really? And who taught them they were African? That's what I mean. When you check these guys out, check out where they went to school at. Check out who their teachers were. This cat, he was under Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark. That's who those were his mentors. And anything in these African studies projects, anything in there, you read some of the books, you talk to some of the people, they're fucking idiots. Are you serious? Would turn you away from your people here to go worship somebody in Africa. And many Negroes do it, they believe. But then when you ask them, well, how come the Africans aren't coming over here trying to get with you guys? How come the Africans aren't coming over here taking a DNA test with you to see if you are their long lost brothers and sisters? How come they're not doing that? See, and notice when you ask people questions like that, first watch the look on their face. They're going to try to pretend like they don't know what you're talking about, but the question is so simple, they can't play that dumb. They're not you, brother. They know it. They're over to take what you're trying to get us off of. And that's what anybody who teaches you that you are, I don't care if they African, Martian, whatever. I mean, dang, just go back a couple of hundred years in history and pull the indigenous people of America up, and you don't see nobody that resembles you. You don't see nobody. So this is what I'm saying. This is how that African stuff got spread in the community. It came along long time before this brother, but he was going around the communities telling everybody they're African. And when you ask them somebody, because I asked them one time, well, brother, where's the ships? Brother, that was 200 years ago. I mean, but he's taking King Tut's tomb around everywhere. And that's over 1,000 years old. They like to save what they've done to people. They like to have shackles around. They like to have slave mansions around, antebellum. That's part of their culture, their history. How come no slave ships, brother? Not even one. Not even one in the Caribbean. Not even one in the Caribbean. See, you ask brothers questions like that, and they just get that dumb nigga look on their face. I don't know. This is what I'm saying. This is why we partly screwed up. Stevie Wonder told you, when you believe in things you don't understand, You suffer. So, you know, brother took his last breath a couple of days ago. I'm sure he'll be around. He'll be back soon. But this is what I'm saying about your life. Don't live your life trying to be another people. Don't live your life trying to be somebody else, because you're not fulfilling the mission that you came here to fulfill. I mean, wait a minute. I mean, check yourself out. Do some history on yourself. Find out what was happening when you were born. You're not a person. You are a soul. You are a soul having a human experience. You're to learn. You're to be better. You're to take intel. So when you do get out of here, when your soul travels, you'll be equipped. That's all it is. Ask your mama if you think ask your daddy. No, ask your grandmama. See, grandmama, out of all the people in the world, the person who was less likely to lie to us is grandmama. Right? Grandma ain't gonna lie to you. Why? Why won't grandmama lie to you? Because she's seen what happened to her kids, and she don't want that to happen to nobody else. So she gonna tell you the truth. Runoko Rashidi. Runoko Rashidi was responsible for teaching the age group, I don't know, what, 70 through 40 now. A generation and a half that they're Africans. Now, fortunately, there have been an indigenous movement going on in America since they tried to snatch it out of our hands. So a young lady calls me up and she says, how is it don't these people see that this vaccine shit is a joke? And I'm like, they don't see. That's how stuff is done. That's how the smoke and mirrors are done. Tricks with the TV trying to sound authoritative. So you saw the governor, how they jumped down the governor's of New York's throat today, talking about he's sexually harassed, whatever. But you also have to know that there's people on the other side trying to get him to do stuff, and they'll say anything. Ain't that what they said about Bill Cosby? Ain't that what they said about Bill Cosby? The women who accused Bill Cosby's, we never even asked who they were. And you know, with how Bill Cosby rolling, you know damn well that chick Janet Dickerson is, come on. So these are the stories that we're told from whatever, Democrat, Republic, Christian, Muslim, whatever. What are you? What are you here to do? Serious. You're going to have to ask yourself that question, because you will follow people like Runoko Rashidi for the rest of your life. He will be the person who gave you the information for the rest of your life. Some people already like that. They say this dude, it talks the gospel. Anything he says is the gospel. What do you say? I don't say nothing. Nobody told me I could talk. That's how the African American gets down. Daily. Because somebody told you you were from Africa. You have no proof that you're from there. Nobody in your family told you. Nobody in your family told you. This is one of the cats that was going around to the community. I mean, in everywhere. He was giving lectures in LA at USC. These cats, I mean, and this is what I'm saying. This is how you know it's all a setup. You have to have the indigenous people here confused. So when all these people are here, they're confused. We'll fight each other before we fight each other, before we fight them. And I don't mean physically fight, I mean fight economically. You would think the so-called African-American, Black, Negro, colored, you would think all of them would get together and build their own economy. They don't do that. They go make sure all the other economies are well taken care of. That's what the African American does. And see, you try to act like that's exactly what you do on everything. In what Neely Fuller say, in all 9 activities of life, we make sure everybody eats before our children. Tell me I'm lying. You got more stuff in your house made in China than you made yourself. Am I lying? And you cool with it. You don't care. So what, nigga? I can do what I want to do. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. Aren't we really Africans? This is what I'm saying. See, this is what I'm telling the so-called African American, Black, Negro, color. Habiba Abdul Hakim. Sounds like he's not from here. Aren't we really African, though, since Jerusalem, Israel, was a part of that continent before the man-made Suez Canal? Look, man, Habiba, it sounds like you from over there. I think that history, what you just said, is made for over there. That shit don't do us no good here, homie. It does us no good. I mean, I know somebody gonna fall in love with your word. You know, you got a nice name. They gonna think that's cute. That's what Negroes over here do. Anything that's not them, they love. Everything that reminds them of themselves, they hate. You're gonna do an about face on that very soon. So this, what this dude Habiba just said, he's the epitome of what I'm talking about. This is what this dude Runoko Rashidi is teaching you, that you him. They don't teach over there that they're you, do they? Now, and all that Israel, that Bible, blah, blah, dude, that has nothing to do with life. All that is dead. And anybody want to debate me on the Bible, step up. If you get past the first page of the Bible and you don't have questions that are not answered, and you go ahead and color in it, you use pink marker, yellow marker, make it look like it's been used, and you don't know what the hell in it, you just a nigga that don't know how to color. The book is bullshit. I mean, damn. And this is what I'm saying. This is what this cat is teaching you. That kind of stupid shit. This is what Habiba says, ma'am. No. If you're over here, cool. Your mama, your grandmama from over here too? Or are you one of those Negroes that named yourself after somebody else? This is what I'm saying, love. Please don't try to get mad like I'm talking about you. We don't have time for that shit. We don't have time for it. If you are a woman from over in that part of the world, your teachings would suit the people over there better than the people here. That's all I'm saying. Or are you one of the millions of Negroes who changed their names to something that they mama didn't give them and trying to be it, dress like, wear their facial hair like, wrap their hair like? Or if you're one of those Negroes, take what you've learned over to where you want to be and live happily ever after. Damn. It's not tough. It's not tough. So you're from over across the waters. Your mother and father is across the waters. Ma'am, you see how those people over there live in deserts? You know why everybody's running over here? Because they don't live in deserts no more. It's plush over here. It's fertile over here. All I'm trying to do is get the Negroes, the African Americans, to see that this is their home and they don't come from over there in a desert. But they get mad, they cry, they go tell mama. So, ma'am, if you're from over there, and this is what I truly believe, in order to get the planet back in balance, I think everybody should go home to the birthplace of their grandmothers, their great-grandmothers, their great-great-grandmothers. And I think the planet will straighten itself out. Habiba, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. Because, we gotta, because you just don't know. Copy. Habiba, I'm going to send you a link and you can come on and state your case so you can see what I'm talking about. All I ask is, be respectful when you talk. You can start off, since you're a woman, and then let me retort. Let's not be long. Let's not take a long time. Make your point. You should make your point in 30 seconds. Let me hit it back. You hit it back, and we just get a game of tennis going. But you're saying that you're in the religion of Islam. So what? Take that religion where it came from and start doing that over there. It does nothing here. Don't you think the people have spiritual practices over here? Don't you think the indigenous people over here had a spiritual practice? And you're going to bring something from across the waters over here and try to trick the people into getting into that? See, we tried that once with Malcolm X. See, Malcolm X was this brother. Started out as a piece of shit, like we all do. But he, start to learn. He started to evolve. That's all he did, was evolve. Got with a group. They killed him. This cat wasn't even 40 years old. The group was supposed to be this Muslim, the black Muslims. Some old bullshit. Negroes have been on that since then. I'm sure before then. You don't think the indigenous people over here had spiritual practices? Why the hell you think everybody coming over here? And we done went to all kind of shit. all kind of shit. So Habiba, love. Now you might have some people who agree with you and all good. But this is all I'm saying, love. If you're going to take up another man's religion, I think you should go live your life to the fullest where that religious, because they would know the plans, they would know the blueprints to make that place flourish. It ain't over here, because when niggas turn Muslim here, they kill one another. Amen. And then Negroes are going and Negroes will go licking their ass for the next 50 years. This where we at. This is the mind fuck that goes on with these people teaching you African. These people teaching you Muslim. We're not all that. Now, you can be it, I mean, and be it. But when you come over here with this shit, it's getting slapped down. Because that shit don't work. You see all the Muslims running over here. You see all the Arabs running over here. You see why aren't they in their respective homes building civilizations there? Why are they running over here on top of the indigenous people here? Well, why is that happening? See, when we ask those questions, now we can't. I forgot. I don't know. We never know nothing. I'm saying if you're a Greek, go to Greece and hey, that's all I'm saying. If you are African, you should go to, because Africa, the motherland, right? Ain't that what Runoko Rashidi said? Africa, the place where it's happening. Right? Right? Africa's the place where it's happening. But they steadily running over here. You guys can't be this absent-minded. I know y'all with this COVID stuff, but the whole thing, you can see it. You can see it. You think India would allow millions of the people they show on TV in America on YouTube? What's that? World Star. You think India would let 1 million of those people in India? Since you African, you think any African country would let 1 million of those people come to Africa? Because this is how the Negro thinks. This is how the Negro thinks. And I'm talking about 90%. Seriously. 90% may be a little too high. I'll say 88. No, I'm kidding. At least 50%. But what's going on in the world now, the energy we have, the soul power that we have, we letting this go on? For real, y'all? For real? Tyrone.
What's up? Hello?